What's up, friends? Welcome back to the channel, and today we have a very special shout out to Laura, Kelly, and Melissa for joint requesting this one. And yeah, we're bringing more U2 on the channel, and this is technically Laura's request, but this is Vertigo. And already this looks like it's going to be a cool music video, and leave it to U2 to just... They have a thing. They're theatrical. But anyway, so before we get into this one, as always, if you guys have any song requests for me, join everybody in the Discord and leave them there. First link down below in the description. And if you want to check out all of our full album reactions, join everybody in the Patreon. Also, link down below. And that's it. So it's going to U2 Vertigo. Spanish.
Captain.
This is really big in the left ear.
Lights go down, it's dark. The jungle is your head. Can't rule your heart. A feeling so much stronger than I thought. Your eyes are wide and though your soul it can't be bought. Your mind can wander. Hello, hello. Not a place called Vertigo. It's everything I wish I
cool
didn't
video.
know. Except you.
And they're older
Give
here
me
too.
something I can feel.
Obviously. That's a cool riff.
Is full of holes. This bullet dripping sky of ink with gold. They twinkle as the boys play rock and roll. They know that they can't dance. At least they
Bono's
know.
voice sounds very different here, too.
I'm asking for the check. Girl with crimson nails. Is Jesus round her neck? Swing into the music. Swing
that's the
into
coolest
the
video.
music. It's everything I wish I didn't know. But you give me something I can just give me what I want, and no one gets hurt. Hello, hello. We're at a place called Vertigo. Lights go down, and all I know is that you give me something. I can feel your love teaching me how. Your love is teaching me how to kneel. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
All right, man, that was a rocky one. And one thing is, before I look at the date that this one came out, I'm very curious because they're probably, what, in their 40s or I'm guessing 40s here? Like, yeah, probably 40s, not quite 50s because nobody has white hair, I don't think. But I will say, I think that U2 might actually be, out of every band we've heard, the band that has aged the best. Because, you know, we've done some newer stuff by some of these older bands, and it doesn't always go well. Sometimes when they try to mimic their old style, it just feels like mimicry, and it feels like there's just some energy that's dead. And it's like they're trying to be what they were, but they just don't succeed. They can't just keep that up, you know what I mean? Where this, and again, we'll see really, like this might actually, they might be younger than I think. This might be late 30s, because like a lot of bands can have amazing stuff in their 30s too. It's usually what I notice, like 40s and like definitely by 50s, most bands just don't have it anymore. They can't keep the youthful creative juices flowing. Even in their 40s, a lot of bands struggle to keep the creative stuff coming up. Usually it's like 20s and 30s. It's kind of like the prime of most bands. A lot of the time 20s is the prime. But yeah, I want to see, because I think that U2, depending on where this is, like this feels fresh. This energy was quite remarkable. And overall, I'd say vocally, I think Bono did a great job in this one. Just again, having an energy in his vocals. I thought the drumming was just very catchy. I liked how in the verses there was some cool rolls going on. That's like almost like kind of like a pseudo tribal beat. It wasn't. I don't think it was a full kind of. I forget what it's called when like you like. Like that kind of thing. I forget what it's called because it's not a roll, but he just had he had this nice feeling of momentum in the verses with his drumming that I thought. And then Edge, as always, just has a very distinctive style, and I like the bridge in this one, how everything kind of got more intense. But now let's go for the big reveal. So this is 2004, and U2 is what, an 80s band? And I think they were big in 84 or 86, if I'm correct. Maybe even before. So that's 20 years into their career. So if they started their career and they're like when they were 20, they're 40 now. If they started when they're in their 24 or something, they're 44 now. So yeah, this has a lot of energy for a band that's 20 years into their career. Yeah, this is fantastic. And you know what? I also could be wrong. That's something I want to pay attention to, is when do most bands start to lose their creativity? Because I could be wrong. Maybe a lot of bands write great albums in their 40s. But I know there used to be this old thing that my mom told me, or it was my mom or my dad, but they said that most bands only have 5 good albums in them. That's like the kind of, in the zeitgeist, that's what a lot of people believe. That's what some music critics will say, is that most bands only have 5 albums. And U2 is clearly a band that said screw that to that. Yeah, wow. But yeah, what is this one about? And just, that riff, I really like that riff. Very there's a momentum to it, you know what I mean, and energy. The lead single from U2's world-beating album, How to Dismantle an Atomic Bomb, Bono said of the song, that riff, you can think, another rock song. It doesn't become great the first time you hear it. It becomes great the 1,000th time you hear it. Because I think what he means by that is what I mentioned about the momentum. This riff has a real alive feeling. And I think sometimes things that feel very alive actually grow very well, where something that sounds like great on first listen but doesn't feel alive gets worse as you actually listen to it. Like there's some songs that are like pieces of art found in stone. They feel like there's not quite a rawness to them, and those things are usually very cool on the first listen. They wow you, but like you said, it's like, and also I like what he said, that sometimes things aren't that great on first listen, and that's what's the trouble about being a reactor sometimes, right? Is I'm listening to everything on my first listen, and sometimes songs for me really start to pop on their 5th listen, right? And so sometimes I've thought about that. It's like, maybe one thing I'd like to do is maybe every year, if there's some songs I really love that I've changed my mind on, maybe I'll do like an anniversary edition, and I'll do another reaction where we listen to, I don't know, like the studio recording or a live version, and you know what I mean? Like do something different, because some things change, you know what I mean? And that's true of a lot of rock riffs. So we have to get the density of exposure for that to be a hit. And we knew that. There's nothing in U2's catalog that sounds remotely like Vertigo. It's completely fresh. Vertigo is actually quite a gem, contrary to what you say. And it's very new, and there's beautiful little moments there, but they're subtle. That's cool. I'd like to, really kind of check this one out a few more times. And just the video is amazing. Just the sense of momentum and fluidity in the video I thought was remarkable. It's another political anthem from the Irish Rockers, although the video doesn't quite communicate this. A trippy but incredibly cool looking performance. The band are playing the track in what looks like a desert being blown by winds surrounded by undulating spherical platforms. Vertigo was used in an iPod commercial back in 2004. iPod Nano, which is odd considering the anti-capitalist messages that Bono spoke of. Wow. Let's quickly look through these lyrics here for a second. Uno, dos, tres, and then 14. Huh. Lights go down, it's dark, the jungle is your head. Can't rule your heart, a feeling so much stronger than a thought. Your eyes are wide, and though your soul it can't be bought, your mind can wander. Hello, hello, I'm at a place called Vertigo. Is everything I wish I didn't know, except you give me something I can feel. The night is full of holes as bullets rip the sky. Of ink with gold, Yeah, Bono is just very... Like, even right here, I have no clue what he's talking about. At first, I thought he was talking about mental health, like anxiety, but I don't think they've ever really talked about that kind of thing. Usually Bono and U2 is a very externally focused band rather than internally, from what I've heard at least, except for like one is very internal. But yeah, and then right here, this is now where I can see a bit of the anti-war stuff. The night is full of holes as bullets rip the sky. Of ink with gold, they twinkle as the boys play rock and roll. They know that they can't dance, at least they know. I can't stand the beat, so I'm asking for the check. The girl with crimson nails has Jesus around her neck. Swing to the music, swing to the music. Maybe they're just talking about how like music can be a force of protest. Check made it just fun. She made it in, yeah. All this can be yours. Just give me what I want and no one gets hurt. Yeah, this one's a bit cryptic. I have a hard time knowing if I would have no clue what this was about if they didn't say it was about war. Because even where's that girl come in? You know what I mean? Interesting one though. I was very impressed by this, Laura. And now to everybody, what are your favorite U2 songs? What should we check out next? Let me know down below and we'll jump on some of those. And I also, of course, want to give a big shout out to my tier 3 patrons. So we got Laura, speak at the devil, Adam, Amber, Kelly, Ken, Brianna, Daphne, David, Francis, Melissa, Rush, Sharon, and other Sharon. So shout out to all of you, and I'll see everybody again tomorrow. I love you.